Hello, this is Gilgamesh. I want to talk about some things because after what the CIA just did in Venezuela, this fucking moron is running his mouth about two countries he wants to overthrow. Colombia, and claiming, okay, back in the day, yes, Colombia, the dictator we put in charge, cocaine did come through. We ran the CIA runs the cartels, even in Mexico. This is not about stopping, it's about getting control back under the CIA. Trump is such an idiot. What he's doing is giving the CIA exactly what they want. Permission to put in regimes that will kill hundreds of people will die when they get rid of this guy. Because this guy, literally Petro, is not running the drugs through. No, they're not. The cocaine comes through Ecuador now, and we'll see. Right, here's Colombia. Okay, and here's Ecuador. This is what the government, so they could put Julian Assange in prison for exposing the CIA, what they've done around the world. They overthrew this government. They did a coup and got rid of this government. This country for the 90s, 80s, 90s, cocaine flowed through this because we controlled the flow of it. The current president doesn't bend the knee to the West, to the United States. That's why Trump is pissed. This is not about stopping the drug trade. This is literally about controlling it for the CIA. So he calls him a bad guy and a thug. Brings up the cocaine problem because it was under the CIA this shit went through. As far as I understand, there's not really any cocaine coming from Venezuela. I mean, from Colombia or Venezuela. It is coming through here. This little kind of tree right here. This is where the drugs flow through. Because we have a dictatorship in here, and people are being killed by this dictatorship. There are no rights in this country, and that's been It's like when they stormed the Mexican embassy, to arrest someone who the previous government official that we couped out, that the CIA couped out. And that pissed off a lot of people. That was outrageous, but this is typical of the CIA. So he's right on one thing. There was literally cocaine problem for a long time, but not under Petro. He isn't, and oh my God, Trump is so fucking dumb. He's doing the CIA. Now, here's the other one. Mexico. Schellenbaum is a Jew. Trump says he loves Jews, but he wants to overthrow his government. Not because, they started spreading that she was, I'm not going to bring it up. It's not, that they were saying, I don't know if it's true, that she said when this mayor was killed by one of the cartels of Mexico, that she apparently defended the cartels. I saw where they were trying to say that. I don't know if that's true, but they're trying to, they're planning a coup on her. Get her out of office. They might kidnap her and bring her here. Well, here's the thing about Colombia. The dictators in the past, this shit right here. Clandestine oven reveals parliamentary horrors in Colombia. This was, in the region. And let me find, if I can find the, it's this. This is the region in Colombia right here. This. This is part of Colombia. Now, that would be, if we look at where it says, Bolivia. Trying to find it on the map, but the weird thing is when you look at this, it's saying right here. I'm just trying to find it on the map, okay. Here it is. This is where, this would be where, this is the lake as far as I can see. That's it. See, this is the region then. It's got to be, but the North Sound. I'm trying to figure out exactly. Because, yeah, this thing is, see, you look at it, here's Venezuela. It's, because it would be right about, if we're looking at it, it's right here. This is the area. It's got to be right in here. Yeah, this is, I think, it looks like the, because here's Colombia. This is part of Colombia as far as I know. North Santa. Let's look that up. Yeah, here it is. Let's look. Yeah, it's this area. This is where they found the ovens in Colombia. See right here? This is the area. So it's this is where these ovens happen to be. Yeah, in this area. Yeah, this is the area where they found these ovens. Were 100, yeah. And why? Because these are people that protested the dictatorship that was in there. The last one, the previous one, Dan Cohen covered, this guy was a dictator. They didn't say shit until this guy. Now they're Trump's bitching about the cocaine problem. When he turned a blind eye when the previous guy was a dictator who, yeah, they had no problem until this guy gets in. Trump was president the last time. He never said shit about this stuff or about, the drug, the old thing with drugs and everything in Venezuela. It was about the oil, destroying their economy so they can get their hands on the oil. That's what that was about. Now they're trying to say Maduro was a drug dealer. No, he wasn't. And same thing here. When they say this shit, they're telling on themselves. Petro doesn't do the cocaine thing. The CIA did. And now they're trying to point, because they're planning to go after, watch his ass suggest the U.S. operations against Colombia. Sound good to him? Yeah, overthrowing governments is what the fucking fascists do. This is what fucking evil regimes do. So all the Trump supporters, here you go, another, yeah, he calls him an illegal drug dealer, which isn't even fucking true. The CIA are the drug dealers. Yeah, Colombia once was. Because of the CIA. Under Petro, that's stopped. Yeah. And so this lie, Trump says. Yeah. Like the fentanyl in Mexico comes from it comes from, and I'll show you, Afghanistan. That's where it comes from. It comes from Afghanistan, and they take it through China without China knowing, and they flood it through Mexico into America without even the government knowing it's going on, because the cartels serve the U.S., the CIA. Yes. So all this shit, like this lies on him, the lies on Colombia, they're targeting Mexico. This, they think they're actually going to pull off something because this idiot is too stupid to realize what he's bringing is death and destruction. And when people flee these countries, they're going to be coming to the U.S. looking, we need to be here because we have death in our country. And this fucking moron will be the reason Colombians come here, people in Mexico want to come to America, and people from fucking Iran is going to flee, like the Jews of Iran. And same thing with Venezuelans. They're going to suffer and die, and they're going to be wanting to come to America, and we're not going to let them in. They're going to try to come through the southern border, and all these Americans go, well, why are they coming here? It's because of what you celebrating Trump overthrowing Maduro. You are the reason. You fucking morons. This doesn't end. You thought this was about stopping drugs? This is about controlling the drug trade. Yes, I'll bring this up. CIA Not a secret. I don't know why they're saying this. This is actually a lie. Yes, the CIA did, and this is all true. They're not allegations. These are actually being confirmed that the CIA does. Historical involvement with drug cartels in Latin America, yeah. This has been well established, the history of this shit. How explosive allegations first entered the public debate and what investigations found. Allegations the CIA was complicit in or directly involved with drug trafficking surged in the 1980s and 1990s, driven by investigative reporting and congressional inquiries. And by the way, they outright admitted they were trafficking drugs. They still do. Congressional inquiries that probed Contra-era funding. That's where Iran comes in. This is what Epstein was helping them do. And links between U.S.-backed groups and narcotic networks. Multiple investigations, including Senate and Department of Justice reviews, documented relationships between U.S.-backed anti-communist forces and drug trafficking, and found that traffickers sometimes funneled funds to those forces while U.S. officials were at times aware of they were completely aware. However, these probes generally stopped short of concluding that the CIA, they covered up for the CIA. Yeah, there is actual evidence of the CIA's complicity. Yeah, two specific historical episodes that anchored the controversy. The most cited episodes include support for the Nicaraguan Contras and reported contacts with Colombian drug trafficking during the Cold War operations. Oh, also, this isn't the first goddamn leader we've illegally invaded a country to kidnap. Noriega was another one who was actually was in our back pocket, and we illegally kidnapped him. So America has a history of kidnapping leaders from other countries and putting them on trial and putting them in prison illegally. So, yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. They run this shit. Yeah, how many world leaders? This should, yeah, and Americans. Yeah. Of course, we have to be careful. This thing's probably not gonna. Oh, it's difficult. Oh, ousted. Dictators. I love how they say Newsweek says dictators. You mean people we put in power. And no, Nicolas Maduro was not a fucking dictator. We're talking about people we put in power. You know, because once they don't play with us, we overthrow them. So, yeah. And this is it's really fucking. And by the way, he didn't do nothing. We murdered this man. He was our puppet. And until he said that he no longer wanted he wanted to destroy Israel. Yep, 1953. Mohammed Mossadegh. I think that's the CIA helped out, CIA was behind this, orchestrate the coup with the UK that removed Iranian Prime Minister Mohammed from power in a move meant to straighten the role of King. Yeah, this guy was not the leader. This is the, oh my God. Yeah, this was their puppet. It is important to say that was not, in fact, a dictator. While it was labeled as such by the US and the UK, he had been democratically elected by Iranian voters. Yeah, not a dictator. So was Maduro. That's the problem here. Yeah, the voters voted for it. Yeah, dictators don't get elected. Here's another one. had just nationalized the country's oil engine previously operated by British companies. That's why they overthrew him, and they put in, which restored the Shah's authoritarian rule, was widely seen as a way of protecting the British. Yep, that's why they removed him. Yep, that's why they did this, because of oil. That's why we do these things. Jacob Arbenz, Guatemala, 1954. In 1954, the democratically elected president of Guatemala, Jacob Arbenz, was removed in a CIA-backed operation after his left-leaning policies alarmed the U.S. officials during the Cold War. The coup installed the military dictator Carlos Castellano Armez in his place, triggering decades of political violence in the country. In a radio broadcast in July of the same year, Arbenz said of the coup, "They have used the pretext of anti-communism. The truth is very different. The truth is to be found in the financial interest of the Fruit Company and the other U.S. monopolies which have invested great amounts of money in Latin America and fear that the example of Guatemala would be followed by other Latin." Yeah. This is why you hear the, Abd al-Karim Qasim, Iraq, 1963. In February 1963, the USA supported a coup by the military wing of the Ba'ath Party in Iraq against the left-leaning government led by Abd al-Karim Qasim, whose pro-communist and anti-Western policies were seen as a threat by the U.S. The coup and his assassination helped set in the stage for years of authoritarian rule under the Ba'ath Party, which was Saddam Hussein. Yes. Fidel Castro, 1961. In April of 61, the U.S. famously tried to topple Fidel Castro in Cuba with the Bay of Pigs invasion, which ended up being one of the most clamorous U.S. foreign policy failures. Castro remained in power until handed over to his successor in 2006 due to illness. He died in 2016. Yeah, they tried to remove him. Nguyen Dinh Diem, South Vietnam. Yeah, he was their puppet. The authoritarian leader of South Vietnam, once considered by the U.S. a bulwark against communism in the region, was overthrown and assassinated in a CIA-backed military coup after losing confidence in his ability to prosecute the Vietnam War. Declassified documents later confirmed Washington behind the, need more? This is what they do. Hassan Austin, Grenada, 1983. In October 1983, the U.S. removed General Hassan Austin from power in Grenada, only 6 days after he had ousted and executed Prime Minister Maurice Bishop in Operation Urgent Fury. The ousting ended his military government. Oh yes, this is what we do. Jean-Claude Baby Doc Duvalier, Haiti, 1986. Haiti dictator Jean-Claude nicknamed Baby Doc, fled Haiti after nearly 15 years in power when mass protests erupted and the U.S. withdrew its political and military backing. His departure ended his dynasty, which had ruled Haiti as a dictatorship for nearly, we put him there. Do you understand? This guy, so we could steal their oil. Manuel Noriega, Panama, 1989. Yes, this guy, he was put in there. Noriega, a military strongman leading Panama and former U.S. intelligence asset, was removed from power after then-President George W.H. Bush launched Operation Just Cause, invading Panama in 1989. U.S. troops captured Noriega and transferred him to the United States, where he was tried and imprisoned on drug trafficking charges. Another one where they made things up. A year earlier, in 1988, the military dictator had been indicted by federal grand jury in Miami and Tampa, Florida on charges of racketeering, drug, even though he's not even American, smuggling and money laundering. He was put in there by our government. Yes. And if anything happened, the CIA was behind it. Saddam Hussein, this is the guy who ran the Ba'ath Party. You know the last guy they removed? Yeah, this was the guy. And they lied about him, about his involvement in weapons of mass destruction. This is the lie that got this guy killed. He was our puppet till he said he was going to destroy Israel. Saddam Hussein, Iraq, 2003, they lied in the invasion of this. Yeah, the illegal invasion. Hassan ruled Iraq as a dictator for nearly 25 years. We put him in after we overthrew the previous one. Before being removed during the U.S.-led invasion, yeah, we invaded a country that had nothing to do with the attack on 9/11. In December of that year, a coalition invaded, including the U.S. and the U.K., Australia, and Poland. All fuck you. The so-called coalition of the willing, even though the UN would not agree to invaded Iraq and captured Saddam Hussein. They put him on trial and murdered his ass. In Operation Red Dawn, the dictator was later tried and convicted for crimes against humanity. Yeah, they won't put our people on trial for crimes against humanity. How odd is that? By the Iraqi Special Tribunal and executed by hanging in 2006. Yet, everything he did was according to what our government told him to do. Do you understand what this means? Yes. Muammar Gaddafi, Libya, 2000, they assassinated this fucker. They assassinated him. Another coalition involving several countries, among which the U.S. backed the topple of Muammar Gaddafi, even though they called him a friend. In Libya in October 20th, 2011, without congressional approval, during the Arab Spring, which the CIA caused, he wasn't a dictator at that point. The dictator was killed by rebels. No, they weren't. They were CIA-backed fucking goons. Although America troops did not occupy Libya, yeah, they actually brought slavery back to Libya. That's right, killing this guy who started a garden in the desert. Yes, this guy who was not even what he once was, who was willing to work with the U.S., was assassinated because he dared say that Africa should take care of Africa and not rely on the West. How dare he? Yeah, and then, of course, this lie that he's some dictator. He was not a dictator. These fuckers lied. Maduro and his wife, Flores, were captured and flown. They were fucking kidnapped at the CIA. Trump didn't order any of this shit. The CIA led this thing. They even admitted it as part of a flawless, fuck off. You literally cooed him out of office. The 6-year-old politician had been running Venezuela for years, a decade, which he was legally elected, during which the country's GDP shrank because we fucking put an embargo on them and wouldn't let them sell their oil, experienced massive exodus of people because we fucking destroyed this guy. He was not a dictator. Hey, fucking dumbasses, a dictator doesn't get elected. They don't even run for office. And an illegitimate leader, since he had been believed to have stolen, know something? This is why we are dog shit. When these fucking idiots say this shit, what paper is this fucking dog shit? Yeah, hey, morons. Newsweek, you're fucking retarded. He was elected. He won the election. They had fucking people witness the election. Donald Trump is a fucking child fucking scumbag. And I want that to be known. For all the Trump supporters, he raped girls in Epstein's apartment. And eventually that shit will come out. So Newsweek, you are the garbage paper you've always fucking been. So Maduro was no dictator, you fucking idiots. You listen to Donald Trump and you suck his dick, and you'll wonder you're fucking garbage. All media is shit. Do you understand that? They're all controlled by the CIA. Yeah. And so we have another shit paper. These are not dictators, not all of them. definitely fucking, they're all installed by our government, and Maduro was no fucking dictator. This is why this list is shit. They do this all the time. So, yeah, this is what fucking the world has to look forward to, because they won't do anything to stop our government. So this is what they're going to do again. And for all the Trump idiots, you put dictators in and then you remove them. You put new dictators in, and when you don't play ball, then they want to remove them. Fidel, this is why we destroy Venezuela's economy. You fucking retards. And by the way, how many people died because of what we did in these countries? Lots of people. They come to America because we destroyed their countries. You can eat shit for all the people complaining about the Somalians, and you're going to turn a blind eye to the crimes our country did. I just read you people that they fucking overthrew and kidnapped. In some cases, executed. This is what your government does, and Trump is just another example of a fucking asshole who doesn't know fucking his dick from his asshole and does whatever the fucking his bosses tell him to do, like a good little fucking monkey. Dance for the CIA, Trump. When history speaks to you, they will fucking call you evil for this. Yes, you are a monster. You are a psychopath. And I'll say something. When a woman like Melania stands there and looks always unhappy, it's because Trump has never pleasured that woman in any fucking way. Yeah, you can tell when a woman's had an orgasm, they smile, they look happy. Melania always looks so unhappy, especially when she's with Trump. Why is that? Because he has never given that woman an orgasm. Yeah, I bring that up because this is what men with micro dicks do. They sit there and they think that they have the right to tell the world, I can't wait till you lose your war with China, Trump. And I'll be laughing my ass when that happens, because I do not give a shit. We lost the war in Iraq twice. We've lost every war since Russia made the Nazis surrender. And the only reason we're considered the winners is because Russia made the Nazis surrender. That's why we have a veto in the UN. The 5 countries are Russia, China, US, France, and England. These are the allies. All because Russia made the Nazis surrender. And this is what we've told every one of our fucking allies. Fuck you. We think we run the world. When this world gets tired of you, they're going to turn on you. It's only a matter of time. When you fail with China, you will fall. Because your stuff will be blown up before you can even hit China. China will destroy your military bases. And you won't be able to stop it. So, yeah. But this is what the U.S. does. They install dictators. And I can even go here. I'll say the dictators. Let's see. I know they have. Right here, even the AI says it. Central Asian dictator history, yeah. Oh, not ousted, installed, morons. Yeah. CIA dictator history, yeah, right here. Who became the first? Yeah, right here. This is just AI. This is what's funny. The CIA has employed dictators and psychologists in various roles, from supporting early Dr. Masi, to leading technically. Yeah, they also brought in Ultra K5. Yeah, we put dictators in power in countries. So me if that comes up better. Yeah, we have done this. That's how democracies, yeah. Right here. The CIA-backed coups that toppled democracies worldwide, yeah. We put people in, then when we get tired of them, we overthrow them. Throughout history, few institutions have wielded as much influence as the CIA. Covert operations orchestrated by the agency have led to the significant regime changes, often disrupting established democratic governments. CIA-backed coups were more common than you think. Countries such as Iran in 1953, Chile in 1973 illustrate the U.S. intervention that insulating in several political instabilities. The legacy of these actions, I always fucking resulted. God damn it, I had trouble pronouncing that word till just. The legacy of these actions continues to spark debate surrounding moral implications and human rights violations. What were the underlying motivations driving these interventions, and what long effects? Oh, the death and destruction. Death. Delving into the, this is what's fascinating. This is the shit that, like right here, they said the CIA orchestrated a coup that overthrew Prime Minister Mohammed, who was actually elected, and they put a dictator in called Saddam. This was the Shah. This was because of the Shah. Yeah. In 1973, the U.S. backed a military coup that toppled President Salvador. Yep. Instigating a period of several years civil strife. Yeah. These covert actions not only reveal the manipulation of foreign governments. Yeah, we do this all the time. We sell weapons. How coups alter democratic governments. Coups fundamentally disrupt the delicate fabric of democratic governments. In countries experiencing coups, key institutions often face immediate dismantling. Yeah, they do military coups, like those seen in Latin America during the Cold War, exemplify how swiftly democratic systems can collapse. Political instability emerges almost instantly as power vacuum lead to chaos. Over the long term, these events often usher in authoritarian regimes that stifle civil liberties and human rights. Historical context is vital, like Chile in 1963 or Iran in 1953, as case studies of how regime change can permanently alter a nation's political trajectory. They do this for many reasons. Oil, money. The legacy of regime change operations continues to echo through modern politics. Cold War interventions had left many nations grappling with unrest and instability long after the initial event. Foreign intervention often reshaped political landscapes, breeding distrust among civilians towards government institutions. Declassified documents reveal the moral implications of these covert actions, raising questions about political ethics and human rights violations. These geopolitical consequences, severe as a critical reminder of the fragility of democracy in the face of manipulation and control. The long-term effects of these operations illustrate the power dynamics and systematic collapse that can follow government overthrow, impacting not just the countries involved, but international relations as a whole. Yeah, I'm reading this so that you understand what's about to happen. Supporting facts on coups and regime change. Military coups can lead to the immediate suspension of constitutional rights and democratic processes. Historical examples such as the 1963 Chilean coup resulted in decades of authoritarian rule and human rights abuses. Cold War interventions have contributed to ongoing political instability in numerous countries, affecting their governance for generations. Declassified documents from past regime change operations highlight the ethical concerns and long-term consequences of foreign intervention. Case studies: Iran 53 and Chile 73. Two compelling. This is what's going to happen to Venezuela. The two compelling incidents illustrate the CIA's covert actions that reshaped nations. Iran in 1953 and Chile in 1973. These were not just political transitions, they were pivotal moments that significantly impacted history. The Iranian coup saw the removal of Prime Minister Mohammad Mosaddegh, I'm probably getting his Mosaddegh, largely set in motion by his decision to nationalize oil reserves, which posed a direct threat to Western economic interests. There you go. CIA worked alongside MI6 and local the rich people to orchestrate this regime change. Covertly, in Chile, the CIA supported General Pinochet. Oh my God, this guy was a brutal dictator. In dismantling Salvador Allamande's democratically elected government, leading to a brutal period of civil strife. Oh, it was bloodshed and death. The guy executed hundreds, I may have been thousands of his people. Both cases underscore the complexities inherent in foreign intervention during the Cold War, revealing just how far the U.S. was willing to go for safeguard its strategic interests. It does not give a fuck. And this is why I hate the Trump support, why I despise these people celebrating what happened to Maduro. You don't think about the consequences. Covert operations and espionage. Espionage, exploring covert operations unveils their paramount role in influence in international relations. These secret missions, typically executed by the CIA and other intelligence agencies, are designed to sway foreign politics without immediate political awareness. Throughout the Cold War, espionage tactics became crucial by monitoring rival nations and countering perceived threats. Yeah, so this article goes on. Yeah. And what it does is it shows, and I'll probably I think I will do this much later, but I'm going to put it here so I just want to show you a bit of this. So you understand, this is what the CIA does. Yeah. So this is how the CIA operates. They overthrow a government, they don't give two flying fucks what it does to the people. And so when you have this fucking shit of them lying about what's Maduro, which he wasn't a dictator, this, like I said, what they do to people is the CIA overthrows them, and Trump and these fucking morons in the government go along with it, not giving two fucks about the people in that country. And you want to know why they come? This right here should tell you exactly what happened in Colombia under fucking a dictator our CIA put in power. And you bitching about the drugs, Trump? Go fuck yourself. The CIA was well known for being in bed with this shit. Yeah. Yeah, right here. CIA. This right here. CIA, historical CIA involvement with drug cartels in Latin America. This was well established. And for anybody saying, oh, there's no proof of this, you can go fuck yourself. They did this for a long time. Yeah. So this is not about stopping the drug flow. It's about making it. Yes, the CIA run drug trafficking. Recent reporting depicts the CIA as actively fight. No, they weren't cartels today, showing an operation focused on rather than. Yeah, this is completely fucking shit. They are trying to control it more. This is about stopping the drug flow. This is about controlling it. That's really what's going on. So all this shit about, oh, they're trying to stop it. Why would the CIA stop their moneymaker? The thing that's making them money. They're trying to get it more under, streamline. This is not about stopping the drug. This is a lie, Trump and the others. This is what they're doing, or what they're trying to do elsewhere, is to streamline the process, make it easier for them to control it, get rid of the problem, which are people that get in the way of them doing their drugs. Jesus, that's why they want to get rid of the leader in Colombia, because look at where Colombia is. Do I need to show you again where Colombia is? It's right here. Look at what we have. If they can overthrow all of this, and I'm not joking, if they get their way here, look at what stands in their way. They overthrow all this, they get these governments all under their control. This can flow, and here can all flow simple. And that's why this is here, so that they can flow, because this doesn't have drugs. Where would the drugs came from? Colombia and Ecuador. So they want to flow these drugs easier into the United States. So if they overthrow these governments, they control the drug flow, and boom, they don't have to deal with the fucking anybody who would dare try to stand up to them. That's what this is really about. This is not about stopping the drug trade. This is about controlling it further, having more control of the drug trade. So yeah, this is Gilgamesh. I will talk to you later. Bye.